Hi, I'm Jack Moore, Managing Partner at Evans Consulting.
And I'm Bob Etris, the other Managing Partner at Evans Consulting.
We're here today to welcome you to Evans and tell you a little bit about our vision, our culture, and our philosophy.
I started with Evans in 2003, and it's kind of a funny story how I found Evans. A friend of mine had an older sister who worked for Sue, our founder and CEO at the time. And my friend said, "Oh, you'll love it. My sister says it's a cute little firm. There's like maybe 10 people there, great first job, and then you can figure out what you really want to do." And that was about 18 years ago now.
I went to a networking event and I met Bob at the Association of Business Process Management Professionals. And Bob was the president of the local chapter. And I met him and liked him, and I think I can't remember, was it like first meeting or a second one at a different event, but he said, "Oh, by the way, we're hiring, but I think it's for somebody that's more junior than you. I would like you, and think you'd be a great addition to the company. Let me go sort of talk to Sue about whether we might consider somebody more senior." And then I had a couple interviews with Sue that were really like lunch kind of interviews, and just got to know each other, right? She was more interested in sort of grilling me about my history and my skills and like getting to know me.
The thing about Evans' mission that means the most to me, we were really focused on what it means to be a smart leader, because at Evans, leadership has nothing to do with your role or years of experience. It's creating an environment where people want to follow you because they believe in you and they trust you. And certainly the element of being human-centered, because that's really at the core of the kind of organization, the kind of relationships, the kind of company that we want to create.
If she were watching this, she'd say, I'm not going to mess this up. But Sue's PhD is in ergonomics. And she always told me a story about when she learned about human factors, that she learned the European model where the human is in the center of everything. And so if you think about all the interactions that you have, work, home, whatever, or designing a computer system, in the American way, a human is but one part of those interactions. In the European model, the human's at the center and sort of its concentric rings around it. And so that model is truly human-centered. And I think, I don't know, we didn't actually used to use the term nearly as much as we do now, but that was the way we look at sort of the problems we solve, the solutions we create. It is always with that human in the center.
There are two stories that I always kind of remember when it comes to the Evans culture. One is, and we hear this with some frequency, after people accept an offer and they start here, they say with some sense of shock or surprise, "Wow, everyone actually is as nice as everyone said they were through the recruiting process." And I think in our minds we kind of take that for granted, but apparently that's a unique experience for people. And a second example that's really indicative of how collaborative people are, because you'll hear that word at Evans a lot, like we're a collaborative bunch, we're very collaborative. If you were to send an email to the whole company asking for help with something that you're working on, I guarantee you would get 20 emails back, probably within 10 minutes, with people either offering to help or sharing ideas. And that's just unique when you look at how most other companies operate.
We went through a big planning cycle to sort of plan the transition, the communications and whatnot. But it was important for us, and especially in a company where 2/3 of the employees are women, and where several women joined the company because they liked the idea of working for a woman-owned company, to explain to them that just because two guys were taking over, we were not going to fundamentally change what the company did and what our culture was.
For me, exhibiting leadership, making sure that we have employees that have the kind of potential to be great leaders, and in terms of how we work with our customers is really important. And the idea of commitment, right? Commitment from the company to the employee, and the sharing of that commitment from the employee back to the company has certainly served us well over time.
I think some of it's like you see phrases like human-centered design and whatnot. It's sort of cliche. It's in to be talking about culture and how people are your biggest asset. And so it's hard when people ask, like, well, what makes you different? And we say, our people. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. You're like, no, seriously, it is. And here's why. And we're thinking about individuals as we make choices. And how's this going to affect, person A, person B? And what's, because we know that we need to consider what's best for those individuals as we approach decisions.
To be successful at Evans, a critical character trait is curiosity. And whether that's in the form of learning and training, or just acknowledging things you might not understand, but having the kind of character and drive that motivates you to try to understand it better, even if that involves overcoming barriers related to relationships you might not have or uncertainties in a situation. People who are naturally curious become naturally good problem solvers. And if you strip away words like consultant and change management and the other things that we do, at its core, we're just problem solvers. Right? We're trying to work with our customers to make their problems easier. So curiosity goes a long way.
Take your time. Don't feel like you need to jump anything. Focus on your client work, or if you're an internal employee, that role, and make sure you and your manager, you know exactly what you're supposed to do and you're getting that done. And get to know the people in the company and understand what the different options are for you to contribute outside of your standard role, if that makes sense for you.
We'd like to welcome you to Evans and tell you a little bit about our company, our philosophy, and our vision.
What he said. Sorry. We're here today to tell you a little bit about our corporate values, our vision, mission, and our culture.
And there might be a bad joke or two you'll see in the video too.
That was good. Hi, I'm Jack Moore, the older and better looking managing partner at Evans.
Hi, I'm Bob Etris, the younger and even more better looking managing partner at Evans.
We're here to tell you a little bit about our corporate culture, our values, and our vision.
I think that went well.
Yeah.
Not that I recall.